civil counselor and social worker from Wausau, Wisconsin. And I want to talk to you about how to turn a bad rap into a good rap. Now, we think of a rap as somebody who's gotten in trouble, gone to jail, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody who has really messed up their lives. How do you turn that into something good? Well, it's through the Reintegration Assistance Program. This is a model that I actually developed in Wausau to work with homeless people, primarily veterans, is how we kind of started with a target group of veterans with alcohol, drug dependency, and mental illness. That was kind of our target group. It grew into a much larger group of people simply because there were so many cracks that these people were falling through. We had big, huge holes, and we do throughout the world, actually, of people who just aren't getting the help that they need because there's not enough social programs to help folks that have chronic, long-term, complicated situations. But most of these people also had been involved with the law, had criminal backgrounds. Most of them, one of the guys got a t-shirt that said, I didn't always get in trouble when I drank, but every time I was in trouble, I'd been drinking. So that's the point. If you don't deal with the mental illness that drives the chemical dependency that gets you in trouble, that cycle is very hard to reverse. So the program I'm going to talk about in my workshop and eventually do a whole long day seminar on this is going to be about how do you make that switch? What kind of programs can you set up? What can you do as a community, as a church, as an agency, as an individual to help these people make that transition? What the reintegration assistance program is for me. I mean, this was what was in my head. And I had a news reporter actually call me and asked me if I was modeling this after the Delancey Street Foundation, which I'll talk about in my seminar workshops. But no, I'd never even heard of Delancey Street. I ended up flying out there and going, oh my gosh, this is my dream. Haven't been able to bring it to fruition. And now I've retired from the program that I started here, Ranlin Adult Family Care Homes Incorporated. But it is continuing, and I hope that more people step in to keep that ball rolling. But here's what it is in a nutshell. It is working with the organizations, with the jails, with the prisons, with the probation officers as an individual is coming out of prison, or with the case manager and the doctor as they're coming out of a treatment center, or as they're coming out of the homeless program, or as they're coming off the street. And you do a thorough evaluation and you look at their mental health and their substance abuse issues and their background and their health conditions and the whole career thing. What do they like? What are they good at? What are their skills and abilities? And once you get this whole package and you get the releases signed for all of these partners to play together, hopefully, which doesn't always work right, as I'd like it to be, you get this whole package and you develop a contract, you develop a partnership with the individual that we're going to work as a team, as a very large team to help them move forward. But then you've got to have for them something in place that is going to bring meaning and value to their life. Because for a number of years in the program that we started here in Wausau for this population, we didn't have a place for them to go. As good as I might have been as a career counselor, I couldn't get folks jobs because they got a criminal background and they haven't worked in 2 years. And when they did work, they were stealing from people or not showing up. They didn't really have a whole lot to provide a employer. So what we did was develop our own workforce opportunities, in part to give them something to do, but even more so, there's not a lot of money out there for this population. There is money to put them in jail and lock them up. And there's money to maybe, do other kinds of things, but not to keep them in this type of a setting or necessarily to get them to work There's a lot more of that now, which is great, and I'll talk about that. But what we do is we started a program where they could go to work every day, and then that money that was generated would be brought back into the house. It was a non paid training, education, and training program like they have in Delancey Street. And that's just a great model to go look at. And we would work with them. They would come home. We would have workshops at home. We would have things on peer mentoring. On well, we did all kinds of workshops that I did, and not only workshops but counseling kinds of groups too, dealing with cognitive um, restructuring, thinking differently, dealing with anger, dealing with stress, dealing with post traumatic stress, all of those things. So it was really kind of an intensive treatment center type thing with a component of having something to do every day where they could learn how to do customer service and sales because we ran a group or ran a store, thrift store. So they'd learn how to do everything in relation to operating a business, running a store, how to set it up, how to clean it, how to do the customer service, how to do the cash register, how to pick up and deliver the furniture and all the items, how to sort through them, how to decide how to price them. They learned all these things. And then we also had a snow removal and a lawn care business. So they learned all those things. It really was quite an amazing operation that we got going in 2009. And within the first couple of years, they had made close to $400,000. And these residents pretty much ran the whole operation by themselves. We did not have paid staff for much of that time. They actually did the majority of the operation. We had staff that would go down and check on things, but we didn't have full-time staff that operated any of this. So it's really an amazing thing, and it can be done, but it takes the whole community, it takes the whole team to make it work. And I hope that you will tune in for my training, and I'll give you more information on that and show you how it's working in other communities and how you can do it too to make a difference in your community with the people that others have forgotten. Thanks for tuning in.